All right, guys, our next comic is an author who writes books with actual words in them, not just pictures for adults to color. Please give it up for John Brubaker.
Thank you, Leonard. How's everybody doing? Good. Got a 1-star book review the other day. John Brubaker's writing instinctively inspires an eye-dropping calm. Who knew sleep could be so deep and plentiful? And to think, I still have 50 pages left in the first chapter. So, my publisher calls me after they see this book review post. They said, John, gonna make some changes. We are removing your inventory from Barnes & Noble. They need to make room for coloring books anyway. I'm like, that's great. Where are you going to put it? Well, we get a deal with Walgreens for you. You're going to be in the aisle on the shelf right next to the Ambien. Okay, bold strategy. But seriously, nobody reads anymore anyway. We've become a society of passive observers, right? And I think there's one person that we can blame for all of this. Mr. Al Gore. He invented the internet, right? That's what he is credited. I saw it on Wikipedia. It's got to be true. But it's not just Al Gore. It's technology. It's made us intellectually lazy. You know, baseball is the American pastime, which means it's an excuse for people to skip work, day drink, eat hot dogs, and get a suntan. But for people who are a little too lazy for that, we have fantasy baseball on the internet. And apparently, there's a certain species of person that's too lazy for that. What do they participate in? I'm glad you asked. Fantasy bass fishing. You laugh, that's a real thing. That wasn't the joke. It's a very real thing. I know a person who's in 3 different fantasy bass fishing leagues. Like, just think about how far your life has just sort of spun out of control and devolved that you're in a bass fishing fantasy league. I mean, I'm just picturing, this is how it plays out. I'm picturing, Billy Bob and Earl are having a conversation. Billy Bob calls Earl. Earl, I don't know, man. I don't think I can do it today. I pulled my groin getting up off the couch watching the NASCAR yesterday. There's no way I'm up for sitting in a boat and drinking all day today. I'm just going to log into my smallmouth league. It's a dose of reality. It's happening all across the country. It's technology. It's not just fantasy leagues. We've got self-lacing shoes. That's how lazy we are. Yeah, Nike, I don't know if you saw this, Nike just came out with a self-lacing sneaker. And what it does is it tethers to an app. And yeah, that's all you need to know, right? It tethers to an app, and you push a button, and it laces your shoe for you. Now, here's the problem and why it was in the news. Apparently, they didn't let the consumer who just dropped $350 on this thing, they didn't let them know that there was a software upgrade, and the sneakers don't talk to the app, which has, right out of the box, rendered them useless as, wait for it, sneakers. Can't override it. There's 2 buttons on the side of the shoe. You can't override it. So I'm just picturing, this has to be how it's playing out. In Nike headquarters, there's a group of engineers around the water cooler on Monday morning when they find this out, and they're just scratching their heads thinking, damn, if only there were a way that we could lace shoes manually. But it's not just self-lacing shoes. We now have self-milking cows. Yeah, turns out in the UK, robots are milking cows all across farms in the UK. So these cows, all they have to do, they're on their own schedule now. The farmers don't have to wake up before sunrise. The cows just kind of belly up to this milking station where they just udder up to it, and the robot milks them. And here's what's happening. Cows are enjoying this a little too much. They're taking advantage of this resource and having the freedom of their own schedule. And they're just wearing these robots out. They're wearing themselves out. They're breaking the milking apparatus. There's a lot of chafing going on. And the worst part of it for the technology is we now have all these lactose intolerant robots. So, I don't know. I guess I'm a traditionalist. I'm a country boy. I don't think there's anything country about self-milking cows. I think the farmers have taken kind of the lazy way out, you know. We're going to have fantasy farming next. It's just like, we had Farmville, so there goes that. But seriously, that's not country. I'm a country person. Any other fellow redneck country folk here? Thank you. Two of us. Solidarity. And for me, like, it's country music. I'm a huge country music fan because it's so philosophical. It's the song titles. They speak to me. Philosophical song titles like Stand By Your Man. Is that Patsy Cline? And then you got Johnny Cash, Walk the Line. And then you have Get Your Tongue Out of My Mouth because I'm Kissing You Goodbye. It's a real song title. Yeah. That's country. Saw an ad the other day for Willie Nelson. Apparently his advertising is called Willie's Reserve. Marijuana-infused coffee. Yeah, Willie Nelson, marijuana-infused coffee. I was a little confused when I saw it. Maybe you could help me out. I'm not sure who the target audience is for this. Is it people who need to wake the hell up? Or folks who are just too lazy to get up off the couch? I don't know. But seriously, technology it's a great thing. It's also a bad thing. There's an app out there. And this is country. It's called Tutter. Anyone here ever heard of Tutter? It's Tinder for cows. Yeah. So I heard about this, and I just said, I'm going to have to check this out. So I downloaded the app. And it's for cows and bulls. On the cow side, these profiles are pretty interesting. Voluptuous and adventurous Guernsey, 19 months. 19 months old, in the Edinburgh area. Seeking pedigree Black Angus breeding bull. Not looking for anything long term. Then on the bull side, we got some cracking young pedigree Hereford bulls available, all clean and eager to get to work. Performance will be recorded if you are in the mood. I have so many questions about this. So many questions. How do they swipe right, the cows, right? Like, we thought our dating scene was a meat market? Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So how about those millennials? Got any millennials out here tonight? That's self-disclosure, a couple of you there. Good. A little round of applause for all three of them. I had to get up real early this morning before dawn to get to work. I have a paper route. And so I'm driving down my street, and I almost hit my neighbor's kid. He's 28, and he lives in his parents' basement. He's jogging down the road with traffic, with his back to traffic, in a black running suit, headphones in, looking down. This is for his health. I'd swerve out of the way so I don't hit him. Being the kind humanitarian that I am, I pull over and I try and give him a little coaching. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I almost killed you. He looks at me, he's like, huh? I said, I almost killed you. You're invisible out here in black. He's like, why are you criticizing me? Why can't you just be supportive of my health and wellness habit? Like, okay. I'm pretty sure your parents have a treadmill in your basement. So, in all seriousness, the millennials, I think, get a bad rap. It's not your fault that you are the way you are. And it's really not. You're like collateral damage. I was in Barnes & Noble the other day, and no, they weren't having a book signing. They weren't having a poetry reading either. They were having a coloring party. Maybe you were there. They were having a coloring party for stressed out America. I don't know why I just did that. Stressed out America. And I'm just thinking, like, first of all, the adult coloring book wasn't invented until after millennials entered the workforce. So really, this adult coloring, I think, is an entire generation's cry for help. But what they call it, what you call it, perhaps, is self-medicating on a budget. I'm a little confused by that. Coloring, fifth of Jack Daniels. Yeah, that's self-medicating on a budget. But you do get a bad rap. I feel bad for millennials. You know, the media, you know, your targets in the media. Yeah, I almost killed one of them this morning, but I'm pretty sure if they all died tonight, the newspapers across the country would read, millennials driving up funeral costs nationwide. It's just not fair. So I'm fortunate. You know, before I became an author, I spent 12 years as a college lacrosse coach. And I got out just in time before millennials and their helicopter parents just sort of descended down on college campuses. I spent 12 years as a coach. We had a highly successful lacrosse program. In 2002, my team went to the NCAA Final Four. And what happens after you have a little success? You get a little media attention, or so you think. So my secretary, we had lost the eventual national champs in the Final Four. My secretary comes in the following Monday morning, knocks on my door. Coach Brubaker, y'all have a phone call in the North Carolina. Y'all is singular, all y'all is plural. Yeah, you get it. Thank you. Y'all have a phone call from ESPN. Like, ESPN? You know, them TV people? I'm like, okay, great, Millie. Forward the call. So she forwards the call in, and I let it ring 5 or 6 times. I didn't want to seem too desperate. Let it ring 5 or 6 times. I answer the phone. I'm like, this is Coach. I'll never forget the voice on the other line. Hello, Coach Brubaker. This is Richard calling from ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut. How are you today? I said, I'm great, Richard. How are you? Good, thanks. I said, Richard, before you get started, I'm thinking like he's a producer for one of the shows, Mike and Mike in the Morning. Some of you guys probably know Mike and Mike in the Morning, maybe SportsCenter. So before you get started, I just want to let you know, I got all the time in the world for you, my life, my career, my lacrosse program's an open book to you. He said, that's great. A year ago, your subscription to ESPN the magazine expired, and I was calling to see if you'd like to renew. I'm John Brubaker. Thank you very much.
John Brubaker, everyone.